Oh, right. I forgot to add us back in. Perfect. Hey, welcome to Custom Guitars. I'm your host, Ben, right here on the Ben Coombs YouTube channel. You knew that. It says it right down. Over on that side? Yeah. I think it says there with a sub count. Over here is where you can hit subscribe and thumbs ups and yep, and bells even. Perfect. Tap them all, why don't you? Perfect. Co-hosting tonight, someone he's coming down the hall. Honest, he's on the campus. I think he's parking his car. But we have Terry, 539 G's, the Canuck himself. Perfect. And Tom he's parking and stuff. Maybe security's not letting him in. I don't know. HR
Tom is slightly delayed.
Slightly. Analog or digitally delayed?
Considering this is your show, I would assume analog.
That's the right answer, Terry. There's no wrong answer, but that's the right answer. All right. Wow, we already got 22 people in here. We've got 6-string Brian, hands down, favorite YouTuber guitarist out in New Brunswick.
Yeah, actually, we can say that. There isn't too many people out of New Brunswick.
Well,
and he's now one that takes that place.
Even if there is, Brian's better. We got Matthew Stewart. We've got Simon's here, Simon Hosford. Good to see you, Simon. Met up with him in Pete Thorne's stream last night, but he had said he had caught last night's hang. So awesome. Welcome, Simon. There is last night's one and only piece of trouble himself, Tinkerbell. Awesome. That was so much fun.
Oh my god. Sorry I don't have a sign up for you, Tinkerbell.
Have you seen the Sunday night hang with as much energy in a while, Terry?
No, I got to admit that was
no dead air. Yeah. Mojo 7's here. We've got Ron Padgett, the hitman himself, Dwight Bailey, TEC 64. Smoke another one and add a guitar pedal. Well, see, I like the cutting jib. Yep, that's it right there. Right in a nutshell. Let's see who else. We got Charles 75N, BC Rich 581, Tim Thomas, Billy Bologna, Martin Lemaire, EC Painter, some guy named Terry's 3Gs. No idea. Not a clue. Thomas Santiago. Hey! Randy Crooks is here. Good to see you, man. And Paul McNary in early, along with Zach Thong, Music Therapy Laz, Jack Collins, L&M Guitar Corners. What? Martin's watching on the replay. Not a problem. We get it.
All right. I innovated.
Nice.
There you go. Thinking on the fly.
Matthew Stewart, Mahogany. Thank you. Yes, this was compliments of Brad Guitar Miller. Good to see everyone in here tonight. Guitar 1951, GTR 1951, Guitar 1951. Yep. Perfect. I know he always signs off when he leaves comments. His name, I want to say Greg. Could be a Gord. Not sure. Can't remember.
If it was only Gregory Cock.
Gregory Cockery?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I don't know if I could do a whole hang with him. That would be fun, though. I'd try. I'd give her. Try to keep up. Might need Tank in on that one. What's up, Doug? Doug Santaniello, I think.
Every time I see his name, I think of the wrestler Santello, the guy who's actually Tito Canadian.
Santana, but if you want to call him wrestler, just call him Tito Santana. Why is everyone calling him Tito? Don't know. Seems like a good reason.
Confusing the Jackson 5.
Nice. We got 35 people watching. Yes, it is a live. We're live Q&A show. You got the Q's, we got the A's. Oh yeah, totally screwed up the beginning. That's right. That's why I didn't mention it. Tonight's show is brought to you by LPD Pedals. Reno Fin Custom Guitars. Yeah, I'm using fingers. Tesi Switch, FU Tone, Vibraprint, Flipside Music, our preferred American retailers, and Ardens Music, our preferred Canadian retailers. And I don't know if anybody watched this past week's What the FAQ from Flipside, but those guys just let me have it right from the start of the show.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I was like, what'd I do? What'd I do?
You're the favorite preferred Canadian viewer. That's why. What's that for a hat? I almost thought that was an Ottawa Senators hat. Okay. Oh, that's a cool hat.
I dig it. What's up, Tom?
Nuka-Cola. Oh!
Fallout. It's a Fallout hat.
Yes. Hey, Mitch Heyman. Great to see Mitch in here. Mitch does a live show Tuesdays, 7.
Yeah.
It's a really cool show. Never remember his co-host's name. It's great stuff. Good stuff. You know what? You got to pack it before you smoke it. Jesus, Tom. You're a bad influence. Let's see here. Rainy Crooks. It's a question. Ben. Yep, that's me. Did you see the McKnight demo on the Sterling Cutlass? Any thoughts on this guitar? This is not a planted question, folks. But I got some thoughts on it. Yep. What's up, Fruitcake Tony? Actually, I did not see. I assume you're talking about Phil McKnight. I don't watch Brian McKnight's gear demos. I don't care for them. But I have not seen Phil's at this time. But I do know that's a decent little guitar. You know,
yeah.
She's the import version of what I got, and I love what I got. And as long as they do a nice, plausible job, they do. It's a great little guitar.
What's up, Tony?
And hello to everyone.
Yeah, we got Fruitcake Tony in here. Some guy named Ben Tom. No clue who that is. Keith H. says, hey, Ben. Hey, Keith. Do you think a Squire next would fit on a Mex? Oh, wait. A Squire neck would fit on a Mexican, both Strats?
I'm assuming he does mean neck.
Yeah, I would assume so, too.
I can answer that.
No?
All right. When I got my Made in Mexico Strat back here, it actually came with a Squire vintage, classic vibe 50s neck strapped to it. So
maybe
yes.
Well, I was thinking about that because it's like the same scale length.
Yeah.
Like, as long as the bolt holes line up. There was a time where Fender and Squire necks could not be interchanged, I do believe.
Correct.
Yes. I don't know when that changeover happened. That's good to know because I knew, like, traditionally Mexican stuff would fall under the Fender side of things, as in fitting interchangeably with U.S. built guitars.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, but that's great to know because get a Mexican neck for your Squire guitar, for instance, right?
Yeah.
If you like the sound of that Squire little body, but you're like Tom there and just wreck the bejesus out of the neck in about 45 months tops. Yeah. That's that's if it sits in the case for 44 of the 45 months. Yeah, so you can swap out the neck.
I do believe that pretty much American, Mexican, and Asian produced Strats usually, especially nowadays, the more modern ones are very interchangeable.
Hey, there's Brad Guitar Miller. Yes, thanks again for the shirt.
And hey, Guitar Man 45.
Yeah, exactly, Billy Bologna. Didn't the Squires used to have smaller heels? I think they did. I think that's what the difference was. Yeah, Guitar Man 45's in here. We have Mark Effects in here.
Zod's here tonight.
Zod?
Zod.
Oh,
you mean
that
Moxie
reminds
Zod?
Well, no, that just reminds me of the last provincial election here. Somebody did a bunch of Zod line signs.
Oh, yeah.
You will vote for Zod. Zod for PM. And I would just share the shit out of that. I'm like, he's got my vote.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I think one did
My
pop
cap.
up in my area.
I left my cap in the kitchen. I'll be right back.
All right, well, do. There we go. That's the hold music. Sure, let's go with that. High quality production here, folks.
While Tom's away, you could actually thank someone for last night.
Oh, yeah. Happy belated birthday to Pete Thorne. Again, it was Pete Thorne's birthday on Thursday. Thursday. I know how old he was because he had a milestone last year. So there you go. Milestone +1. He's my big bro. I think of him that way. But yes, how cool was it that Pete decided to wait till we were done before going live himself last night, Tom?
That was very cool.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
He said as much during his show, which was really, like, I suspected it, but I was like, nah, not Pete. He's a rock star. But he's a rock star in coolness, too. So, yeah. Which was cool. Yeah, I think I don't know if he went much after I bailed out, but I was literally falling asleep, and I had the girls over today, so I was up early, and I'm like, dude, he's like, I got to wrap up. I'm like, yeah, I need sleep. Like, it's midnight, dude. Hey, Michael B.
Hey, Michael B. and Eddie Van Haskell.
He passed a milestone. Ow, poor guy.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because when I last was looking through my subscriptions, I seen that it was still live at like around midnight, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was right about when I bailed out at like right after midnight. It was actually basically Tom jumped in, and I'm like, I know Tom's watching from bed.
Couch, yeah.
Or couch, yeah. I knew it was something to that effect. And it's just like, hey, Tom. And I was like, yeah, I got to dip out right now.
Hey, Blackjack guitar.
I'm going to go with Tech 64, TEC 64. I couldn't stay awake last night. I get it. Yeah, what's up, Blackjack guitar? Guitar 1952 says, ouch. Robot loves the glass saxophone.
Hello to everyone. Sorry if I can't call you out individually. That's why I'm silent, Tom. I'm not supposed to be talking that much.
I'm not doing the Dream of Deanie dance. You got the theme song enough while Tom was gone. I did hold music.
Tom's
wait,
talking like that.
You should have waited, Ben. I have this tonight. Look.
Oh, it's a peacock.
That's what she said.
Well, look, this is how I flavor mine. Look, this is how I do mine. Watch. And you get the bubbles.
Yeah.
Take the bubbles out, and it flavors it. You get like this tangerine flavor.
Huh.
There was a time, Tom, that I used to put root beer in mine.
Oh, root beer. That's a good idea.
Oh, it's so good. Thick. Great for hack.
Well, I'll say this much. That's nice compared to Alex Radford.
I inhaled like a whole can of carbonation all at once. Just pure carbonation.
That's good because that's CO2.
Yeah, that's a different kind of high.
Yeah, it's okay if you're playing.
Just blacks you out.
Billy Bologna, I enjoy the electric piccolo.
Yeah. Ooh. Tech 64 fancying it up. I used to put Boone's Farm wine in mine.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, you know what's cool too? This has, I don't know about on yours, Ben, but I love they have the little pieces that go in here. So you can, that's you can drop ice down here.
Wow, that was quite a pull. I never cough.
You can drop ice and it will hold it here, so that way it cools it the whole way up.
Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to put in mine. Well, I don't have any ice, so. Sup, both Milk Tea and Browns fan.
Yeah, welcome.
So Ben, are we going for some Tahoe OG or some Strawberry Kush?
Oh, gotta go Strawberry Kush.
All right.
Strawberry fields forever.
Yeah.
I gotta clean this sucker out really good. Dan of New Jersey. Of course, I always want to say Dan Avec, New Jersey, but that's like Dan with New Jersey.
And welcome to this point of the show where it is North Americans with bongs.
Which is basically, in other words, Terry, take over the show for the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Canadian plays his ass off, and I don't always see get a lot of love.
That's quite all right, Martin.
I was shocked.
Mary's like, oops, the game is beginning. Sorry, ciao. I get it, dude.
His YouTube channel only has like 25 or 30,000 subs. The guitar player, Jacob, or Yacoub, if you will, but I think he is a French Canadian. But
Yacoub is more, that's Yiddish than French.
No, I know, I'm joking. But
he could be a French team.
I think his last name is Deraps, Deraps. Man, he's a phenomenal player, though, but I just don't see a lot of people talking about him. He's a young guy, too.
I think if somebody from the East Coast was to do like a guitar channel, they should do it like Screaming or Screeching Newfie.
I mean, look, he was playing in some live thing on stage somewhere, and it was like snowing, and he was still playing a guitar solo in the rain. But I found him because he can nail the Van Halen stuff. And not only does he nail the tone, and the riffs, but he nails the rhythm.
What's up, Doc? He's going for the same question as last night, but with a different crowd. Nice.
Yeah, if you guys don't check it, I mean, I would check out Jacob Deraps if you don't follow him at all. He's really good.
All right, Terry, you got a grand Canadian to buy a guitar new. What are you getting? Tom, you have $812 US to buy a new guitar. What do you get? And yeah, we did the conversion last night. That's how I know you get $812 in your budget.
Right, like currently this year.
Yeah, what do you because What's Up Doc's looking for a new guitar for a grand Canadian. So
what kind of stuff does he play?
This and that, and sometimes other stuff. Sup, Rob Baker of New Jersey.
Somewhere in between.
Glad to hear that the surgery went well,
New Jersey.
He's what?
He said, joining from the hospital, surgery today went well, and I'll be fine, so that's good. Miss my guitars.
Yeah, positive vibes, my friend.
Yep.
Positive vibes. Heal up, my friend. You'll be playing that, what do they call those things? Murphy Lab? You're paying Mr. Murphy, because I can't remember his first. Tom? Dale?
So,
no, that was the baseball player.
Guitar under 1,000 Canadian. I'm going to have to, because I was thinking about it recently. If I had the money to do it, I would be looking at the Epiphone Gibson Custom SG that has the black tuxedo look, the black with gold accents.
So an Epiphone SG.
Yeah. But the fancy one, because it's also got the ebony fingerboard.
Yeah. Which, because the SG is cheaper than the Les Paul, you can get a fancier version. Because you can get pretty much, I think you can get any Epiphone, like Border, like a limited run, you get any Epiphone for under grand Canadian.
Well, you can get
pretty much, excluding the U.S. built, obviously.
Yeah.
But
yeah, otherwise,
I don't think there's anything. Like, I think even the Wilshires and stuff, they're all under $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, the high-end LPs, as far as I know, Canadian, they're
$9.
Probably, yeah. They're in that 8-9 range, whereas the SG Custom that has...
They're like $100 less.
Yeah, they're $799.
So they might be 900 new, but I know they have like tons of demo models for 800 at like...
Or you wait for a sale.
Yeah, Sweetwater and all these places. But the I want to say it's a Schecter I looked at today. It's like a Super Strat style. It was like a SSH, Floyd locking, neck through, built in Indonesia. But the quality looks phenomenal, man. So I started looking on some YouTube video reviews, man, and people said they knocked it out of the park with those. I forget what series it is, but I think they do like an HH and an SSH and maybe just a single H. I don't know. But whatever, it's a newer Schecter kind of Super Strat thing. You know?
Again, Mojo, those are great guitars, the Godins. Yeah, we had mentioned that last night.
G&L.
I was leaning towards like a Player Series Telly.
A lot for your money. Yeah, Player Series, that's a good one.
Yeah, Player Series up here, if I remember correctly, is like $8.99.
Mike Jones says, "Come on, you call yourself a Canuck and you don't speak French." I paraphrase there. Why do I need to know French? I don't travel to Quebec ever, and
Hello,
I haven't taken it since 9th grade in high school, so that was 32 years ago. I know a handful of words, but
yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is
because there's I grew up in a base town where half the military's French. So
yeah. In my case, a lot of my relatives were French. So when you had people around and you were talking, it wasn't hard to lose it. But as soon as you stop talking, conversing in French, you lose it.
Speak French, Terry?
Oui. Très bien.
Sounds good, man.
Le Petit Mont.
Last high school.
Hey, there's Mr. Pedals himself.
Last band was high school. Thank you, Laurie.
Speaking of Mr. The man in teal himself.
He got me all set up today.
Tom.
The see-through logo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Did you happen to know that this Wednesday, Lawrence is releasing his Cascades Reverb? I think that's what we're Cascading Reverb. I don't know if it's called the Cascades because I think there's already a pedal called that, but it's a Cascading Reverb. It's got like 4 knobs and a bunch of mojo. Available this Wednesday if you're on the email list.
You have to have Lawrence's sticker to be able to see my piano.
You got to be on the blacklist.
Yeah,
that's the special filter. That's like what's that, Tom? Like They Live with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Through this logo, you can see the real world.
You can see through me.
It flashes back to Otto from The Simpsons. Whoa, dude! I can see my reflection in this logo.
Okay, so Mike's like me. I don't know what phrase. Yeah, just some catchphrase. Exactly. Yeah, I took every year in school from like 4th grade through 9th grade, and if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
You know who does speak French though? 6-string Brian.
Yeah.
What's a great squatchy compressor, Ben?
A great squatchy compressor.
You mentioned 6-string Brian. He was asking.
Squashy or Sasquatchy?
Squashy. Well, that's squashy with a little hair on it.
Just compress the hell out of it.
I like my Keeley compressor, the 4-knobber. Does what it needs to do.
What did Pete Thorne say? He liked the new Sir one. What is it? Andy Wood? Woodshed compressor.
Right. Yeah, I'd be curious to try that, but I don't use a lot of compressor. I do once in a while, like if I want a chicken pick. I was the other day. What were we doing? Oh, the pedal that cannot be named into the Keeley compressor with the P90s. I was running the P90s through the pedal that cannot be named into the compressor, into the fender, and that was all kinds of bubbly chicken picking goodness.
Robot Master Switch in the side chat here is going on about I talk French, I like women, beers, and poutine.
And Farmer. The Jolie Filet.
The Jolie Filet.
The big poutines. Not just poutines, but the big poutines.
Yeah, the big poutine. No, nothing wrong with the big women either.
5 years. See, I took a lot of Latin courses and that kind of bullshit in high school and college, so I can dissect languages when I see them written down, but I don't fluently speak any other language than English. But I can look at a lot of languages and kind of read my way through them.
Yeah, that reminds me of that guy in New York.
I mean, if they're Latin.
Who speaks all those dialects of Asia?
It's
yeah, he has his name in a weird Asian name.
Yeah, it's like I think it's Chow NYC or something.
Yeah,
Is that it?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Married to a Chinese woman. Yeah, and he lives in Chinatown. Yeah. But
And
he's
then
like
he can.
white guy, and he goes in and he's like, he orders and they're like, what number? And you hear him and it's like perfect accent. He's like, Hong Chai. When he says it, like
Yeah, it's so
he
funny.
went, that guy went to the Navajo reservation and he spent a month learning Navajo, which is known to be the most difficult language on the earth to learn.
Okay, Half Ace is asking where the library is. And I believe that might even be Spanish, because that's like the only Spanish I know. Donde está la biblioteca?
Biblioteca. Donde está la biblioteca? Yeah, I took 4 years of Spanish.
Hey, my geezer. And Half Ace, yes. Simon asks, or he says, Fender Player Series is indeed a great value guitar, fellas. I used it with no mods when I headlined the Melbourne Guitar Show and played the Van Halen 1 album.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think people would say that it isn't a good series. The inherent problem is Fender as a whole has actually put out good product, period, all the way from low end. Well, not the lowest of end, but when you
From
talk
pretty low end through their top
yeah,
end. Yeah.
yeah,
And actually, it's kind of funny, Terry. The 2 lines I'm most disappointed in, either ends of the spectrum. Like,
yep.
Okay, I haven't played a master built custom shop, but I've played like their journeyman relic custom shops, which is their, team built custom shop, whatever. Your bottom of the line custom shop, we'll call it. And I was just like, honestly, Terry, I don't see the $2,000 more price tag over, say, an Ultra, which has all the bells, buttons, and whistles.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't buy an Ultra because I don't want those pickups. But why not buy? An American Professional. We'll say an American Professional or Pro 2, one of those, which is basically your highest end, stock Strat without getting all too fancy and or schmancy.
Yeah.
And then you're going to tack on 2 more for the custom shop logo. When I was like, first of all, this guitar is not set up. I was like, wow.
Ben, I have to say, I didn't want to interrupt you, but when you said Simon Hosford said he Fender Player Series used it with no mods and did that, you can watch that video. I thought that's who he was. Simon's a very humble guy. He's a freaking phenomenal guitar player. He not only nailed the gear, the tone, like all the stuff, he plays the whole album cover to cover live and plays it like when you see Eddie play it live. Like, he doesn't look like he's struggling. So my hat's off with my horrible bald haircut to you, sir, because that guy's a player, as they say, man. That guy's a hell of a player, man. He's
nice,
very talented. So
hey,
nice Simon, definitely. I'm gonna put a link in the chat here. The video. Yeah. It says Van Halen 1 full album performed in track order live at the Melbourne Guitar Show 2019. Simon Hosford. I hope I said your last name correct. But
nice.
Definitely after the show, go check it out. It's phenomenal.
I want to welcome him. We got other left. We have.
The whole band's great.
Guitar superstar.
He shines in it. And
yes, Milt's wife is a French teacher, and both of his kids speak fluent French. Him,
nice.
Not so much. Yep. Well, that's like my Uncle Lang. Both of his kids went to French school, kindergarten through high school. That way they would be completely, because they spoke English at home. They went to school completely in French, because immediately, helps you in the job market. You know that, Terry. We knew that.
Yeah.
They're like, like 20% better chance getting a job just because you're bilingual. I'm like, yeah, it's more than that.
Yeah.
And by the time, I think by the time my cousins graduated, my aunt ended up being principal of a school.
Mm-hmm.
So she had worked her way up through as well. Yeah. Because I always remember when I was really young, my aunt was, I think she was a teacher, but she was always going to night school. I couldn't figure out why. And then all of a sudden, but like she took cooking in night school and then became principal and, like additional court, whatever. I was like, oh, cool.
Welcome,
And then, of
Ira.
course, my cousin ended up going to the same school. She's principal. Why? Because they moved from Scarborough, which, very metropolitan area, where,
Yep.
because it was they went to French Roman Catholic school. So you figure that's like dividing, Tom. You know what I mean? And then they moved from
We just have Roman Catholic school. It's usually
exactly.
Irish, Italian.
And then they went from Scarborough to moving halfway between Uxbridge and Port Perry. So then, well, guess what, Tom? There's not a lot of Catholic schools to begin with, let alone French Catholic schools. So, well, really, there was one. And my aunt became the principal, and my cousin's like, dang it!
I remember I knew a girl whose dad, and she was a really cool girl, but her dad was principal, man. She was like, she couldn't get away with anything in high school,
Apparently, Tom's new pedal speaks French. So, Tom, did you get in early on Wednesday's pedal without saying that you got in early on Wednesday's pedal?
No, I got in on something else.
Oh.
You see, I can explain this to you on air the way you'll understand it. So I have the fuzz pedal by another manufacturer that is the name is based on the sun.
Right.
That one's called it's an analog, man. It's a sun face. But this is an LPD special pedal that has to do with the same subject, but with a different name. But from everything I've heard, it's supposed to be pretty phenomenal. So I just jumped at it.
Awesome.
Milk
said Aunt Yvonne's cooking. It is good. Yeah.
But that Cascade definitely, I think, will be in my future. I had to pay a bunch of medical bills this week. So.
Man,
Well,
that's from Basement Guitar Superstar. Nice.
Otolaryngologists are not cheap.
I was just
Yes, it does.
that.
Okay, Tony, that does explain a lot. Yep. Hey, there's unfucking believable.
Denny Guitar Covers asks, why do people say "excuse my French" when they swear?
I don't know.
I think that's mostly a Canadian thing, wouldn't you say?
I think it's supposed to be derogatory towards French. I don't know.
Hey, Gussie Wells.
Hey, Gussie Wells. We're getting the old Canadian vibe. Right up in here.
Unbelievable, not a vibe.
Not a vibe. No.
I'm
He's like you. He's getting Lawrence to build like one-offs and such.
I'm pretty happy with the two like full-size vibes that are identical Shinai kind of circuits I have. The full, like my Sabadias, and I have another one called a Retro Man. I'm pretty happy with those now. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy one, but
yeah, that Saba. Oh,
I mean, to me,
that's crazy.
That just satisfied me. That sounded like I've only played a real one once in like 1997 in a guitar store in Maryland, and it was only for like 3 minutes. But it did have that kind of weird. The only thing it reminds me of a real one, or close to a real one, reminds me of like almost like a Leslie cabinet. It's like it's just so much body to it, But you can get crazy with that. I mean, that's all for the player. The person in the audience doesn't know the difference anyway.
Janice says, Ben, do they call them French fries in France? No, they just call them fries. It's like, what do they call donuts in Brazil?
I believe they call them pomme pite frites.
Yeah, frites. Pomme de terre frites, or French pomme de terre, which translates to apple of the earth. Awesome, we got a nice
Mahogany.
Great, Charles 75, man.
That's probably more than just a Catholic thing. You're right.
Chips would be in England. Yeah, fries are chips in England.
Yeah, that drives me nuts hearing that. Oh, I got fish and chips. It's like you got fish in a bag of potato chips.
Well, what do you call chips? We call them crisps. I'm like, crispy what?
Yeah,
crisp tells me nothing. Although chips doesn't really tell you much either. It's a chip of something. I don't.
It's Charles 75 in. And to me, like a crisp, I default back to like those crispy crackers that they came out with as a chip alternative. Crispers.
Yeah, crispers. Right. Hey, Frank Corcoran. Yeah, those things, they'll break your teeth. Those things are hard as rocks.
I saw this video the other day on YouTube about how to make hardtack, like Civil War, American Civil War era hardtack. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
There's a guy who has a channel. It's Recipes of History.
Yeah.
And he did that. He did one. It was the English. So it's a big thing, and literally it's like about 6 inches around. You go like this. He did it like on his knuckles, and it was going clack, 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 and it's like. So apparently that's what the English used when they sent people out to sea. Was they had these already pre-made hard bread, and then they gave them like a thing of grog or something or ale to go with it. So, and people were like going, well, it doesn't make any sense to give someone ale with it. And then it's like, well, when you realize how hard the bread is, you need to dip it in the ale to get it that it's chewable.
Depending on what year you're talking, how far back you're going, a lot of them were just drinking alcohol the whole time because it's the only way to stay healthy.
Because you can't drink the water.
Yeah, you can't drink the water, and anything else would spoil. So they just, they just drank a mix of whatever alcohol they had all the time.
Lawrence says, when I hear CRISPR, I think DNA augmentation. I don't know if they do that flavor anymore.
I know someone that actually had, and I won't say who it was or get into what it was, but someone in my personal life I know that had CRISPR done for genetic disorder they have, and it made a difference in their life, man. Like, it really was like, basically they altered their DNA, but they were able to turn one off, and I don't know how it works exactly, but turn something off, and it really helped this person.
Nice. So we got like food covered. We do that each week.
Medicine, medical,
Yeah, we haven't done local geography yet tonight, but it depends on if we get any local people in the chat.
Would it
children,
turn your books to page
36.
Well, I will say, you do your break, Tom, because I'll tell you. So I put up some gear for sale, right? So, like around you, Terry, it's towns every 10 minutes, right? And they're all of a few thousand people, right? So, Tweed, 35, 40 minutes north of me, we'll say. Basically right up along on the way to Highway 7.
Yeah, I can't say I know of that place.
Okay. Well, nobody would. It's fucking Tweed.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like Apto.
Yeah, it's like Milt knows Tweed, and nobody else in the chat knows Tweed, okay? So I put up some gear for sale. I get let's say 4 or 5 responses. Everybody's in Tweed.
Jeez.
I'm like, is there just like a thriving gas scene in Tweed? Including a dude put up he's got a little space. He's got a pinball arcade.
Ooh.
Records.
Nice.
AKA LPs.
Wow.
And gear. Music gear.
Ben, I was told
I was like,
last sack, so here you go. Ready? Pass it up to you. Ready? Can you get it?
Oh yeah. Here we go.
You got it?
Look, it even changed color.
I know.
Well, we haven't quite weekly yet. Yeah, we can't get the polka dot stuff. They won't transfer for whatever reason.
Or have we secretly given the chat mushrooms?
Okay.
They slap the Canucks sticker on when it goes over the border.
Okay, Blackjack Guitar knows. Yes, Elvis lives in Tweed. That's right. Elvis lives in Tweed.
Travel to this Tahoe.
Touche, Blackjack Guitar. Where is Blackjack Guitar? I want to say you're out of the Toronto area, Blackjack Guitar, if you don't want to say.
Hey, Ben, just throw in what you always say, the greater Toronto area.
The GTA.
GTA.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not talking the greater Tweed area.
Yeah.
Yes, Milt, you've been to Tweed. Dude, I spent New Year's Eve at the Tweedsmere, so that tells you something.
So anyways, all the people responding to your ads were from Tweed?
There's this dude that opened this little shop, right? That sounded cool. He reached out to me about a deal. I got to hit him up because I haven't heard from him in a few days. But I was thinking I might offer just to deliver the stuff, just to check out his space. Hey, there's my lovely sister Amanda, who's going to be on this coming Sunday's show, the Amanda's birthday extravaganza. Sure, we'll go with
So
that.
Amanda, hopefully you seen Tinkerbell's sign he did for you last night.
She hasn't checked it out yet. She was busy last night.
Amanda, what's up, sis?
There was kids and
My favorite Canadian little sister.
Well, she can check it out later either way.
So Blackjack Guitars been to this area many times. Well, that doesn't say much because
I've been to.
I don't know about you, Tom, but like we have no problem driving 4 hours to go someplace. You know what I mean?
Belleville and Kingston. Huh.
Yeah, that's totally my area.
4 hours to go someplace for what?
Like if you're going to go visit a buddy, like a 4 hour road trip's no big deal.
Yeah, not really. Some Americans have a problem driving more than an hour or two.
Yeah.
But then some like me will do 10 hours to stay and see someone for 24 hours and drive 10 hours back. You know?
I had somebody drive from the GTA up to trade me a classic vibe thin line telly for a bass. And I thought he was local, and he goes, "No, actually, I've been on the road for like 2 hours and 45 minutes." I'm like, "Wow."
I used to fix up, full-size arcade machines. So I lived in Pittsburgh.
That's such a bird. I love it.
To Bowling Green, which is it's like 30 minutes from Detroit, on a Thursday night after work when my son was a baby. My wife at the time was not happy about it. 5.5 hours, picked it up, got a sandwich. 30 minutes later, drove 5.5 hours home.
Jeez.
So 11 and a
I
half.
like what Amanda said. She wants her show on Sunday to be named.
Oh, there we are. Amanda's super D-duper, awesome, fun, happy birthday special performance show. Oh, all right, hang on.
Put that down.
Gauntlet thrown.
Sorry, Amanda. There is a 80 character limit in what you can entitle something.
Did Newsmeter burn down? Oh wait. Do I have to pour out a sip? I'd wait if I didn't want to make a mess, but
Oh, that's interesting. Blackjack guitar.
our Habs, longer than 15 minutes is too far to drive in Little Rhode Island. I like it.
Oh God.
It's so
15
funny.
minutes.
I always talk about Kingston because when I lived in England, I lived in an area called Kingston, which is in Surrey, just outside of London.
Well,
So
see
I think
here.
you're talking about England when you say Kingston.
Well, see, Tom, for me, Kingston is 20 minutes. Half an hour. We'll say half an hour east. Surrey is 2,500 miles.
Oh, so you guys stole the English names too?
Well, yeah. Well, we were a colony longer than you were.
No, I know. We're I'm way more guilty. Guilty as charged. I'm just saying you. In addition, you just Oh, they're already digging into the cookie jar. Why not? Yeah.
There's quite a few towns and cities that have the same names in both
State to state, province to province.
Yeah, and also in between Canada and the U.S.
Oh, Michael B said he drove 13 hours to pick up a puppy for his kids this year.
Nice.
Aww.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it's like when I went to Sweetwater. I looked it up on the old map on the phone. I was like, that's only 8.5 hours. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave
Oh,
in the morning, get there by dinner time. Done.
DC Rich said he didn't know the Canadian Army had Transformers. Autobots or Decepticons, he wants to know. I'm curious as well. Like, I didn't know. When did you guys get those? Is that this year or is that have you had them?
I don't know. What's a Transformer?
They're Canucks.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Canadian Autobots.
And their leader is in the shape or is encased or transforms into the original Avalon Arrow.
Ben says settled. We met at Sweetwater. Possible. When did I go? What year was that?
Oh God, that's got to have been 3 years.
Yeah, I was going to say
least?
2018. I want to say.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like it's been quite a while.
Well, Laz is just going to mix both of our names. Ben Coombs, perfect.
Nice.
Okay, 'cause he's obviously using voice to text because crashing them is crashing Nam. And guys, last year, and then he drove home after. Yeah,
Aaron.
yeah. All right, I don't know if we ever did get a response from Blackjack Guitar where he's out of, but he's been to this area. I think he's Toronto.
He
boy.
said he drove.
Yeah,
He did
I think it's Toronto area.
Transformers and
Yeah, he also said Canada makes them, and we deliver to White Sands, the National Air Force base, New Mexico military bases.
Yeah.
well, there you go. I guess if there ever was a Canada versus U.S. war, I guess we know how to get the Americans in, eh? Oh, you need a uniform to fight in, do you?
You gotta put that up, Ben.
Let's see you camouflage now.
You have this sign on the front and a maple leaf. Transform it.
So, Paul McNary says, I live 20 miles from Kingston. Yeah, okay. And 14 miles from Hamilton. No, Hamilton's 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
You should hear what the text tries to do to me now. It's like, you want me to
Hamilton is about 6 hours southeast of me. And then I think when you talk about downtown New York City,
Okay.
that's
Minden.
an additional.
I know Minden. Where the hell's Minden? I'll have to look
Minden's up by me, I believe.
No, you're in the
Oh,
other
no,
place.
no.
Minden. I know that place. All right, I'm going to look that up on a map.
All right, whip out the Google. Township in Ontario, Canada. Minden Hills.
Everyone's checking on their phones. Where the hell's Minden?
Minden Hills is a township in the country seat of Haliburton Country, Ontario, Canada.
All right, I can get there in 2.5 hours.
It is
All right.
an amalgamation of townships.
What the hell? At first it said 133 kilometers. Now it says 199. All right, fair enough. Zoom out. So a couple hours. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you got a provincial park nearby. Oh, Fourth Lakes, right? Oh, you're right up north. Oh, right.
We have a team, the Minden River Kings.
He's in the sticks. Because I could go straight north, because Highway 62 leaves Belleville, so I could just drive straight north of Bancroft and then turn left.
As I said, it's up near me. It's only an hour and 42 minutes away.
Yeah, I know that area. Okay. I was like, you knew that. Yeah, I think we got offered a gig up there, and they were like, no.
Okay, yeah, it's like east of me. East and Slate.
That area, Tom, you'd fall in love with it because there's literally a lake every minute. If you're driving at highway speed, you'll pass a different lake once a minute, and it's just like rocky shorelines and lakes, and just lake and lake.
Huntsville.
Yeah.
Perry Sound.
My favorite outdoor activity, lake fishing.
Haliburton.
Shitty boat.
Ravenhurst.
Can't beat it.
Bracebridge.
Oh, it's just like lake trout, brook
That's
trout.
my
Yeah.
childhood.
Yeah.
Lake fishing in Canada. Like we would go up to big lakes, and we got a lot of pike, and we got a lot of walleye. We were right next to like a reservation.
Yeah, 500 lakes. Exactly, 500 lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a crazy amount of lakes once you go past where I live.
Yeah. Lisa says, Haliburton sounds like it should be bigger. It's not. I vacationed outside of Haliburton. Haliburton, like you hear about the Haliburtons, which is a region, but Haliburton proper is a town of like 400 people, maybe 6 on weekends. Yeah.
There you go. Billy Bologna said he spent most of
Manitoulin
his
Island.
childhood on Manitoulin Island.
I think my dad may have gigged on Manitoulin Island.
The place where we went fishing was owned by one family, French Canadians. The only one left there. Everything around it was native tribes. But the guy I went up with was a builder and a construction guy who had been going up from the 1930s till stopped going up in like the late 80s, early 90s, and then he's since passed away. But they would go up originally with the wives and kids and everything, and then it became just a men's trip, so it was fathers and sons. And I went up a bunch of years with my dad, and it literally is like 45 minutes or an hour down like a rocky road that only fits one car width between bushes and trees like 14 feet high, and that's the only way in and only way out. It was very remote, and they're just shitty little cabins we stayed in. But
Milt says, don't forget pickerel. Yeah, I was thinking, I think Blackjack Guitar is north enough that you don't even get, you don't get the pike as much, pickerel, definitely no bass.
Probably more walleye.
Guys were regularly pulling in from like 40.
That's right.
75 or 80 inch pike.
Hey, Christopher. He says he's been to Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, BC, Yukon, through Canada. What's up, fellas? You've been to more parts of Canada than I have. Jeez. Nice. Rating off that stuff.
Yeah.
BC Rich has vacationed up north of us too, Terry.
Wow.
Yeah. He mentioned Lanark and Mississippi Lake near Perth, which is Ottawa area.
Pretty much the center of the province.
I've never done anything in Perth, but I've driven through multiple times, other than maybe stopping for fuel and or food in Perth. Nice town, pretty little town. Like, we'd always drive up through Perth when going gigging in Ottawa. Perch tend to be small. Well, yeah.
They might be small, but they're some of the best damn eating fish that you can get.
I think walleye is my favorite out of those that BC Rich was mentioning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, walleye.
It tastes like fried chicken.
Oh.
You don't like
if
walleye?
you like greasy fish.
Oh, man, walleye is great. You have to have it prepared right. Literally catch the fish, and within an hour or less, fillet it, and you cook it.
All of a sudden, Brad says, did somebody say Fender Custom Shop? Yeah, I kind of slagged them earlier. But yours is nice. Yours is nice.
Speaking of that, I was going to say that my friend a couple blocks away, he did have one of the retail sold Fender Custom Shop Stratocasters, and I agree with what you're saying though, Ben. It really was not that mind-blowing.
So I have a question. Why are we almost approaching $2,000 US or $1,800 US for like some Mexican and Indonesian made guitars now? The Indonesian,
because they're using par. We'll call it par. For like equivalent to American build. Basically, it's American build, but offshore. So like same woods, hardware, like everything is going to be.
Okay, so they're not doing what they did in the 80s where they just sent all the wood they didn't want to Mexico.
No.
And the other advantage you have right now, too, with everything going to Asia is it's all new tooling and new CNC machines.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that's been mentioned through various people about that the Fender American shop needs to desperately have a retooling done because everything they're using there is all so worn out and worn down.
Too is it's human nature, and you can talk to Lawrence or anyone that manufactures stuff. People by nature get lazy over time, and they just get in a pattern, and they, unless you're like a special forces, Navy SEAL or something, and you're high operative trainer or a police officer where you always have to be on your game, it's your life. People just, and I'm not knocking any one person, people over time, they just kind of, you get comfortable. It's a human,
And to answer Basement Guitar Superstar's question, no, we have no haddock in this area because it is, in fact, a saltwater fish, as BC Rich was saying. Yeah.
How about Simon Hosford, what he just said?
I spent much time traveling around your gorgeous country. Whoops. What? While touring with Men at Work. Nice.
Wow. That would have been awesome.
And that's always a great show too. I've always heard that.
Yeah, they were definitely one of those early 80s groups that hit it really big. So that would have been cool to see or be part of back in the day.
Any time frame of that.
Well,
they still
sure.
like whatever iterations have come along, over the decades, it's been a great act. It's like the Eagles, it's just a pro act. It's going to be all pro. It's a very fucking pro. I can't
that must have been a blast, like playing those tunes, man. I love that music.
Billy Bologna does bring up another valid point, which is I think Fender figured out that Mexico, where all their money comes from, I can't get over 100K made in Mexico. Well, the other reality is, again, they got the newer tooling down there. The labor is cheaper. They can get the parts and even the woods for, almost the same price, or they just ship it down there. It doesn't cost them much.
Can I also point out that the most valuable Fender guitars from the 50s and 60s had pickups that were assembled and put together by mostly Latino and heavily Mexican women?
Yeah.
So why is it different?
Yeah.
Well,
it's like there was the running joke for years. What's the difference between an American Fender and a Mexican one? Oh, I don't know, 75 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure enough.
In the 90s, I would disagree because I think there was a quality difference in what they chose to send to different places. And I had a friend who actually worked for Fender in the corporate division in the late 90s, early 2000s. And she confirmed that. They would just get pallets of stuff and throw all the shit they didn't want and send it down there. But I don't think it's like that anymore. And as you're describing it, it seems like they're both getting the same stock. It's just made with just cheaper labor.
All right, we'll do one more question tonight, and then we'll have to wrap some things. I got other stuff I got to do tonight. Sorry, folks, but I want to wrap things up with Unbelievable's question. He says, Ben, he as well, Ben Coombs, perfect, yeah, love it. All right, that's gonna be the new thing on Mondays. I just know it. Perfect. Thoughts on the Epi Lifeson? It's $900 US. No, thank you. Honestly, I want to play it first before I pass judgment.
That's a good call. What's your first thought, though?
Sure, let's do it. Because otherwise, it's what, like $6-7 grand or something? Like it's not the same price as a standard. So, and without putting a Kramer, it gets Epiphone into the Floyd Rose market.
Yeah. It's kind of the same reason why I said about the SG Custom earlier. The same thing with the Gibson naming on it is like a 4,300 Canadian guitar.
Ooh.
You can get the Epiphone for like just over 700. You can get it for like 850 Canadian, I think.
What I dig about that is like that. I'm not saying that's
absolute mayhem.
I mean, it's approaching $1,000, but if you want to get into a Les Paul style guitar with a Floyd Rose already on it, ain't no way on anyone's green earth you're going to do it for less than that.
All right, so Blackjack Guitarist says, I'd buy it. Love my trumps and whammies. So he likes his wiggle sticks.
The only way you can do it for cheaper is a Harley Benton SC.
Well, yeah, okay. So you can. I mean, but to get something that's like you want to keep
actual brand name, yes.
Brand name,
yeah. And we gotta say, also at this point, Epiphone is a brand name. Like it does retain value. Seems Squire does much more than it used to. It used to be Squires were great for propping up windows in the summertime. Like nobody cared about Squire.
A small team, the drummer, if they lost time, they were they were drunk.
If you were going to smash a guitar on stage, you'd buy a Squire from the pawn shop. Who cares? And an Epiphone, like forever and a day, Tom, a used Epi was 300 Canadian. Epi Les Paul, 300 Canadian. Now, I think a new Epi Les Paul standard is around 750, 775 Canadian. Used,
I think
the
so.
700 used.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically commanding flat out, and that's
It's almost like they're putting a premium on the old headstock design.
Hey, wait, I'm gonna be an American redneck. You ever see these guys? My favorite. They do that, man. They get their lighter up there, and just be like.
Yeah, as BC Rich said though, the Korean epis are really great. Yeah,
I love mine.
Those are like Ben has one. The anything that was epi branded but made in the Korean factories, they are valid in their upper amounts of worth. But anything made in China, no, they should never be up around.
Quick question from Michael B. Do you guys play acoustic much? I rarely do. Tom? Nope.
Terry do.
Terry does. There you go. So it's a bit of everything.
I mean, I would play one if I had it. I don't own one.
Well, there we are. See, Tom doesn't even own one. Mine is Case Queen and Terry.
I owned one in my life because I had to for a class, but that's it.
Yeah.
I have it like close to the end here.
That was the only reason I had acoustics in high school, Tom, was because I had to have one for class.
Yeah, I think I would just break it. I'm not very careful with things.
I have it at the end of my rack, so that when I go and I sit on my food
I'm not being
and watch TV, I can noodle around.
Right there. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not being facetious. I'm not that careful with stuff. So I'd be afraid, like, if I spent like $2,000 on or even $1,000 on a crazy nice acoustic, and I'd be like, nah. I'd be like,
if we had a bunch of people jumping in, I was about to wrap things up because I got some stuff to do, folks, unfortunately. But hello to Symmetry. Hey, Mike Davids. Yeah, 89 Washburn WP80. Oh, okay. Built a Great by Sammy. It was incredibly well built guitar. Yeah, they were.
Sammy did really good.
Mike, I need a 12 string as well. Electric, mind you. I want electric 12. Still haven't decided which one yet. So, Terry, any parting words, my friend?
No, thanks everyone for coming and watching the show. Hope everyone's well.
Nice crowd tonight.
Yeah. Hope everyone's doing well, both physically and mentally. And to those that have just had surgeries and that, speedy recovery and speedy healing.
Yeah, that goes for Robert Baker, Rhett Shull. Something about their names starting with R.
And our
Sean Zimmerman continued well wishes and good health.
Yep. Exactly.
Yes. And remember, Wednesday, LPD dropping a pedal.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to drop it, but it might even be this color. I don't know. Could be. I don't know.
No.
Could be this color. Oh, dang. Thank you, Charles. And thank you, Boner Jams. Quebecers with 7 strings.
Quebecois.
Quebecer with
almost forgot.
7 string.
Before Tom does his parting words, bring that up. Thank you very much, Boner Jams. You know I love you. Sexiest metalhead this side of Hanoi.
Thanks, Boner. Thanks, Charles.
Boner Jams, you have a show this Wednesday on the Johnny Bean channel, do you not? I do believe. Metal Wednesdays with... Ow, I think I squished a nut.
Metal.
Thanks, Charles75N.
Thank you, Simon.
And I forgot. I got to read off the
Patreons.
No, not that button. Jesus.
Boner Jams and Lord Hand.
Well, you figured that out. There was
right.
an announcement in regards to the latest Transformers movies coming out.
Nice.
Optimus Prime is going to be voiced by Ron Perlman.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you can become Patreon right down there. Helps out the channel. I want to thank CJ, Paul McNary, Johnny, Charles Green, Keith H, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe C, Absolute Mayhem, Charles75N, Brad Guitar Miller, Knucklehead Zero, unfucking believable, Symmetry, Jose Benito Martinez Jr., Cousin Todd Flowers, Blackjack Guitar, who's from Minden, Craig Tomlinson, John Z351. I just almost said John Z35150. Sure, why not? Grumpy Mike Guitar, Fruitcake Tony. Check out Fruitcake Tony. He's on twice a week these days. Van Halenville, non-copyright. As well, Show Me Your Pick on Saturdays. JP Page 2. And this guy, Ben Tom. There we are. This, that, and that. Thank you, one and all. Tom, parting words.
No, nothing.
All right. I think Tinkerbell said some nice things about your recent parting words. So, yes, folks, if you're feeling a little down in the dumps, reach out. Us fellow guitar pickers, we're all just a sorted bunch, and we can rely on each other to get each other through the week. And never hurts to do that. Reach out.
That's a good one. There you go.
Reach out. And yes, thank you everyone that tuned in tonight. We had a nice crowd tonight. Definitely. We hit all the topics. We talked some guitars. We did the Q&A. We did the Q&A on guitars, food, Canadian geography. Minden. See, I knew it.
Health and leisure.
Health and leisure. Poutine was referenced during the show. Perfect.
Medical
Brian,
and recreational
updates on
voices.
The
1-0.
Canucks.
Yeah, Canucks. Yep. Perfect. And so as always, hold those doors open. Let that lady in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Why? Doug's wife is real. Oh yeah, I'm back with Nats Canucks tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Doug and me. That's what I got to go watch some damn races amongst other things. I'm so busy, so little time. But yes, thank you everyone that tuned in. Where's that? Yeah, there. Right. Perfect. Right. Cheers. Peace.
Bye.